Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our evening connection, our weekly education or study. And we know that we are in the days now between Yom Kippur, which we spoke about at length, and now we enter to the energy called Sukkot, which is Sukkot is a days or 7 days of where we going outside of our home to build almost like a hut, almost like a structure, almost like a home, a temporary home for the next 7 days. So that starts on Friday, which we're going to speak about it a little bit more on Monday and Wednesday next week while we are there. But as a preparation, there are these 4 days between Yom Kippur and Sukkot, which, as we know, that these days are highly intense because, of course, it's a preparation for Sukkot, but it's also, they are almost like the joint between the two bones, right? Between the two columns, as we call that, this period of time called the 22 days of building of a vessel, which means you have the 10 days of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which we build what we call our desire to receive. That how much do you want to receive this year? A lot of people are saying, yes, I want a lot. But it's not just about receiving, it's about building a desire to receive without the side effects. Because sometimes we receive something and it comes out wrong. We thought we received that gift, but it turned out to be a curse as a return, right? Sometimes we think we are receiving the best relationship, but turned to be the most destructive relationship that we created. So it's not just about I want what belongs to my soul. I want what I can receive without side effect, without being disconnected. That's what we build until now. These days, we are linked into these days of what we call Sukkot. In these days, we're building what we call the right column, the energy of sharing, or according to Kabbalah, the energy of influence, lehashpia, to give over, to influence, to transform, to give, to share for the other. That is what we're building from Friday. Therefore, we need to start thinking about it. And thinking about it doesn't mean just thinking in a way of like, what do I want to share? Is creating that consciousness that part of my journey, or I would say all of our journey in this world, is to transform all the desire to receive that we have, all what I want, so it will be only for the sake of influencing change, light, transformation, goodness, mercy to this world. All what I want is for the sake of transforming it into sharing and a vehicle to deliver the light of the Creator into this world to all human beings. We know, as says the Zohar, in the introduction to the Zohar, he says, Ki ha'olam נברא בהפך גמור מהשם יתברך, מהקצה אל הקצה, בכל מעט הנקודות. That this world, the Zohar says, created in a complete opposite way from the light of the Creator, the light of goodness, the light of influence. From one side to another, complete, different. In all aspects of this world. We know כי העולם הזה נברא בבחינת הרצון לקבל, that this world created with the aspect, with the element of the desire to receive, what we call today gravity. What is gravity? The pull. I want. We all, the one thing you can ask yourself is like, why these people in my life, why circumstances happening this way, why this situation coming to my life? I'm a good person. No. You are gravity to everything that comes to you. You are gravity, you're a magnet. So don't ever think that anything is mistakenly show up in your life. You are, as we learned right now, this is the way the world created. Each one of us gravitate, pulling all what we need to learn, or in the language of Kabbalah, all what we need to receive for the sake of influencing this world, meaning transforming those desires. And that's what's happening in Sukkot. Because yes, I can build an I want big one. But if I don't have an I want to share, right? A desire to share, a desire to influence, that obviously cannot be activated. There's got to be a flow, there's got to be what we call circuitry. That's the idea of the sukkah. That's the idea of what we're building the sukkah. For example, a hint. Why do we build a sukkah outside of the house? Very simple. Your house represents your vessel, the way you share, the way you live, your habits, your what you equip to enjoy, what you capable of receiving without going crazy or losing your mind. You're building the sukkah outside to indicate that if you really want to influence, you gotta get outside of yourself. Sharing or giving or helping or being there for somebody else, you cannot do it from your own comfort place. You can, don't get me wrong. But if you really want to kickstart this year, make sure that in these days, I want you to prepare yourself to want to share completely outside of the realm of what I'm used to do. Completely being uncomfortable in the sharing. And you went outside. And that's what the Sukkah gives us. The strength, the building of our vessel to influence, even when I'm not ready for that, or even if I'm not interested in that, I'm getting the strength to do it, and all of a sudden it's possible. Thing that wasn't possible before, this year will become possible. That is what you want to focus in these days. How do I used to share? How do I used to help? This year, I'm asking these 7 days that comes to us from Friday, to get the power, the strength, the ability to share outside of myself. Completely go crazy in a way of influencing the world. Now, that is the big picture of what's happening. So it really all dictates in these days. You remember Sukkot is almost like the effect of what you're going to think in these days, what you're going to create in these days. Because Rosh Hashanah started and it keeps downloading every single day. So therefore, when you come to Sukkot, you already have to start in a higher level. That's the idea of these days. You already need to keep elevate yourself more and more, elevate your thoughts, elevate your desire to a greater place. That is how you tap into the level of Sukkot. As opposed to, it's a very nice structure, interesting, but it's way more than that. Because remember, the world was created completely the opposite way of what you and I see in this world. So simply as the Kabbalah says, if you want to know what's the right decision, always go against your nature. I want to do this, do that. Completely opposite. I really want to do that, do completely the opposite. That's the simple way of you realizing that you're heading in the wrong direction, because if you follow just what you want, right, it's nice, but what you need. And in that moment, let's say for example, a friend comes to you, I don't feel like helping him, do it. Someone that comes to you and you're usually gonna bend over, backflip to do for the sake of helping them, do the opposite. Stop. Don't do that. You're usually the doormat for everybody, right? Want to please everybody. The right thing to do, as far as the creation goes, is completely the opposite. No, I'm not doing it anymore. Or if I'm always want people to serve me, stop. Go and serve others. This is what you want to start thinking in these days. What type of nature of influence do I want to transform? So be clear about your behavior and then choose the opposite. And the Sukkah can give you the energy to completely shift this year and see yourself an influencer, not just a social media influencer, right? But influencer in your life, in the world, not just when everybody sees you. Do the work when nobody actually sees you. If you like to be always in the spotlight, shine away from that. And if you run away from that, get in. Right? You have to think this way and preparation for Sukkot. This is the actual preparation. This is the consciousness you want to be able to have. Why? If you think about it, there are many times in life when we heard good news, we got overwhelmed. We got sometimes freaked out. We got yelling, wow! We can't even contain ourselves when we hear something good, or even if it's, Chas v'shalom, God forbid, bad news. We can't handle it. Therefore, most of us, as soon as we, thinking, I want to be endless sharer, endless giver. I want to be bigger than myself. I want to be bigger than what I'm thinking I am today. Learn that every time you get good news, or you close a big deal, or you get connected with somebody and you had an amazing connection, we're overwhelmed. We are so over ourselves. We know we taking ourselves so serious in this way. Wow, I'm so great. I can't believe it. And then what happened? It stops. Imagine living in a reality that every day is miraculous. Not just once a day or once a week to hear a wow moment. Every single hour you have a wow. Miraculous. That you see changes like crazy every single day. Right? Yeah, we have the last transformation in the world. What we start seeing is the AI, right? AI is wow, look what it does, look at this. And yeah, already it's become part of the norm. Nobody is excited about it anymore. Yeah, it is. But it's already oh yeah, that's an easy one. But in the moment when we start seeing it, right, everybody wow. Again, that's it. It's done. Now we're waiting for the next wave, for the next big thing. Imagine every day, many revelation every single day, like a wow. But we will able to stay even keel. We will be able to stay focused on the goal, which is the light, which is human, which is our soul. Nothing to do with wow, I'm so great, and our ego get inflated, and we think we made it. Please don't take yourself too serious, and don't give yourself too much credit to think that you have an influence on this, on that. You have to build it. You have to transform it. And then, nobody need to give it to you or tell you. You will see it. But again, as soon as we start telling people how great we are, all of a sudden it stops. So remember, these are the side effects. And we would like to receive it in a way more powerful, inner way. That is what we receive in the Sukkah. To be able to influence the world in tremendous way, without the need for credit, without the need for taking something in return. Completely just to influence. The gates, the flood is open when you behave this way. But when you doing two steps, like, let's see what's happening, okay? It's going to stop. It's going to maybe give you a little bit, and then the gate is closed. There's a section in the Zohar, in Akdama, in the introduction to the Zohar, that I really, really like. It speaks about the gates, the lock, and the opening, right? There are three levels that you know, in order for us to really be influencing in this world, we got to transform many, many layers. But the real idea that we need to always focus on, as the Zohar says, כי סותמים את שערי ההתקרבות ומרחיקים אותנו מהשם יתברך. Meaning, if you don't have a real desire, if we don't have a real desire to convert our desire to receive for the one of sharing, for the one of influencing, that gate will have a lock, and that lock will not going to open. You're going to be pushed away. It says, kochot teperuda. There are forces that meant to push us away, to separate us. What is the point? But if you overcome those forces, what is those forces of peruda? The forces of separation. We know that the only vessel according to the Zohar, that can hold the blessings, that can hold what you can influence in this world without losing it, it's called Shalom. It's called the peace. That's why it's called Sukkat Shalom. The Sukkah meant to bring peace to the world. So how do we bring peace to the world? First of all, we need to overcome the forces of separation. That is the work that we want to do in Sukkot. I'm going to speak about it this week, but we need to start preparing that. Every place you have separation is those forces controlling you there. The most important part of the work of Sukkot will be to create peace and unity between us as much as you can. But you have to understand, what separates me from the other person? My desire to receive. Or, I want to be the one who influences. I don't want them to do it first. I want to be first. That's the problem. When these two forces of desire to share and the desire to receive are being used for my ego, or being used to take over people, and not being used to be united with others, to create peace. Peace doesn't mean I need to be in love with the other person. Peace meaning that I can have an amicable relationship. I can be around in a room and doesn't have to, somebody, if they are there, I'm not going. Right? Sometimes we all have that. We all have that situation. But let's overcome that. Let's overcome that. And once you overcome that, you overcome the forces of peruda, the forces of separation. And then right away, you've been receiving any support cosmically to influence greatly. But without peace, again, peace with yourself, peace internally, peace of mind, but peace between you and your family, peace between your community, that, and again, eventually we want to achieve peace in the world. Right? The energy of peace is the energy of completion, because it's called in Hebrew shalom. Shalom meaning hello, but shalom means as well peace. But it's also come from the word shalem, which means complete. So if we don't have unity, and if we don't have at least understanding that it's not the person that separates me, there are forces that are meant to become like that. For example, as I said before, you have the energy of gravity. Try to jump I want to jump higher. I want to fly, but the force won't let you. So you need to create a mechanism that allows you to do that. You have to fight your way up. Every day that the tree grows, think about the trees. The tree is waking up in the morning and all day long fighting gravity to grow up against the nature. Right? What happening when you receive such a great news? We're happy, we're overwhelmed, we're excited, and we start telling people. And then it's end. If you want to practice living in an unlimited reality, living in an unlimited abundance, it's impossible that when you get your paycheck, you're over the top, and when you don't get your bonus, you're so low. When somebody invites you to a party, you're over the top, but if you're not, you're so low. Check your energy. Check how you react to those things. That's what you want to overcome. That's what you want to receive in the energy that comes to us, to build you a vessel that is influencing the world without those side effects. So, as the Kabbalists explain, there are three different phases, הם ג' צורות העוברות על החומר אחד שלנו, דהיינו הרצון לקבל שבנו. There are three phases that your desire to receive has to be transformed. So all what we want to receive has to be slowly transformed into the one of sharing, into the one of influencing. This is what we're doing in Sukkot. So obviously, as you come to the energy of Sukkot, what you want to ask, I want to connect to the energy of peace, tranquility, but as well, only when I'm sharing. Only when it's very easy to receive some massage or some take yourself a nice shower and you feel relaxed and you feel good, or take a nap and you feel energized. That's a receiving for me. But when you get out of the sleep or the massage or whatever, what do? I need more. I need to, right? I'm not excited to go and share. So it's not a problem to do things that are of giving you some pleasure. But remember, the intention here, so I can do more. I'm going to eat for me. No, I'm going to eat so I can now have the energy and the force to go and share and do the work. Everything that you have and you want to receive, have within it the seed to an equivalent sharing in a way better, stronger, revelation than if it will be just for you. So this is the idea here. Obviously, in Sukkot, there is something that's happening that it's really been activated only in Friday. It's getting charged. So I know, we're going to start on Friday. I'm not going to have a chance to speak to you until next week. So as you're going into the Sukkah, I want to remind you, the Sukkah is the same numerical value of the number 91. 9-1. 9-1 is the same numerical value as the word Amen. We know that after every blessing, we usually answer Amen. Or if somebody tells you something, he says, oh, Amen. You want it to happen, meaning you actualize the blessing. That's what we're using Amen for. That's what the Sukkah is about. But if you want to go a little bit deeper in the Kabbalistic understanding, the numerical value of the 91 is also a combination of two names of the Creator, called the Yud Kevavka, the Tetragrammaton, and the Aleph Daled Nun Yud. Together, combination, which one represent this world, one represent the upper world. So as you enter to the Sukkah, you enter to a world in between this reality and the upper world reality. You're not in this world. If you think you're in this world, the sukkah cannot touch you. Yes, it works, you're drawing light. But it's almost like going to take a shower with a wetsuit. Yeah, maybe I'm getting wet, but it doesn't really touch us. Right? I have a suit. So remember, allow the sukkah to start doing the work for you. When you enter, remember you are not in this world. You are an in-between world. It's a bridge. It's almost like a teleportation. It's almost like a time traveling. That's what sukkah is about. To get in and travel in time to a place where you can see yourself sharing tremendously, helping tremendously. Most of us are so satisfied with what we share. I want to do these classes every single day, but who is going to listen? Right? I want to meet as many people as I can to share with them this wisdom. As many as classes is needed, even if it's one person or 100 people or 1,000,000 people watching it, it doesn't matter. I just want to share. Please, light, give me the opportunity to share. Show me where can I more influence. That is what I want in Sukkot. That is what you want to ask when you start this process. But remember, the Sukkah can give it to you as you enter. You're in a different world. And in this world, in that time traveling machine, you're going in and you want to receive the strength. I want to receive the power to be able to share so much, to influence so much, and start seeing yourself sharing beyond your logic. Giving, I gave yesterday, I'm so pumped, I helped so many people, I donate some dollars. Don't have a grab on that. Because if you think that that's what you're capable of giving, you're not activating the real amount that you meant to give. The real influence that you meant to do. So yes, appreciate the opportunity, but at the same time, don't get overly hooked on that. I want more. That's creating circuitry. So as you enter the sukkah, this is what you want to make sure you meditate on. I want to see myself influencing the world tremendously. And the same thing, I want the sukkah to give me the power to create peace and harmony within myself. Yeah, but I'm uncomfortable. It's cold, it's raining, it's hot, depending where you are. Sitting there. I'm alone, nobody, noisy, I can't sleep. What? All this discomfort, all that opportunity is to allow yourself to share tremendously in this world. And again, the discomfort that you feel in the sukkah is because you are in between world. You are in a parallel reality. That's what the sukkah is about. Don't mistakenly you're going into a, very nice, wow, decoration is very nice. No, don't forget. And the second thing that is very important, I'm going to mention it many, many times. Every time you're getting into the sukkah, the structure is very nice. It's important. There are many different rules of how to do it. But the most important connection is what we call the schach, the roof. The roof is called schach. Is the same numerical value as 100, the number 100. Which we know, as I said before, there are 100 blessings that comes to us every single day. Most of us maybe see 1 or 2 or 5 or 20. But there are 100 of different channels of blessings that wants to be activated in your life every single day. So if you pay attention, every time you're going to the sukkah, we're sitting under, making a connection, maybe making meditation, maybe just eating food. But remember what you receive from the point of view of the roof, called schach. Hundreds of blessings coming all the time as you're sitting there. And again, that's as much as we can talk about it. We can talk more next time. But again, there's a beautiful transformation that's happening in these days before Sukkot. One is I want to start realizing how much do I want to share, building the desire to influence, start looking in all what I want to receive in this world and how much of that is of the sake of sharing. Start building a mechanism for you to be able to share in this world tremendously, right? And obviously, as you move forward, entering to this, please, before Friday, if you can go and either help or give towards that, or do some action of sharing or even volunteering in for the Sukkah, it as well give you the merit that all the people that come to receive from that Sukkah, that light goes through you. So hopefully it's a great opportunity, one of the most happiest holiday. You know, we call it, there is what we call in that day, Simchat Bet HaShoeva. We take in water, we're pouring into a bucket. That's the simple action we do over there, is to activate the energy of sharing, activate the energy of happiness. So I wish all of us, make sure that you're connecting, make sure you're entering or even building or even giving towards a sukkah so you can participate even if you cannot build or sit there. So other that goes in and make the connection, you will be a channel for them. But make sure that the consciousness is very important. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful holidays and I see you soon.